Hello YouTube, this is Frugal, and this is Aerofly 2, which is the brand new version of the Aerofly simulator, which is a mobile sim that runs on iOS and Android, and now runs on PC. Now, let me get something out of the way real quick. This is not FSX, this is not Prepared, this is not X-Plane. They don't have the depth of systems that you have typically in aircraft and simulation in general in those platforms. What this is a flight simulator. The focus here is on simulating flight. Now, I said in the news show about this, I tried Aerofly 1, and one of the things that really stood out for me was the gliders. So the first thing I've done, I haven't spent any time at all in this, I spent about 10 minutes in this. The first thing I did there was fire up a glider. So here we are in California, Sonoma County, flying a glider, and I gotta tell you, it is amazing. It's amazing. Ignore the fact you don't have the systems and stuff. It's a flight simulator, and the feeling of flight in this thing is absolutely superb, and it's beautiful as well. Very high frame rate, it's all performing very well. Obviously it's a little bit jarring to have that display at the top of the screen, which is a hangover from the mobile versions, and honestly the entire user interface for this thing is very much mobile. It feels like you're using an iPhone app on a PC, but once you get past that, this is actually a lot of fun. Now, the question comes in whether a lot of fun is worth the asking price. This is $50 out of the box, which makes it more expensive than FSX Steam Edition, and about the same price as the academic version of Prepared. So that's probably a bit of an issue, but I know iPACs are a very small team, so they probably have to cover their costs. You know, it takes quite a lot to develop it, so I don't know. You need to make the decision for yourself as to whether or not $50 is worth the money. You know, it's a good price for something as reduced in complexity compared to the other sims as this is. But for the general feeling of flight, this is phenomenal. What I'm going to try and do is land this. I'm not very good at flying gliders, as many of you can tell. That's the brake coming out right there. See it? Deep, 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 deep. I'm going to get the speed down here. I'm going to try and land. I've been cruising around these ridge lines up here, thoroughly enjoying myself, because the graphics, as I said, are amazing. The frame rate is great. It's just what you want. So overall, first impressions so far, I'm digging this, but I want to land this, and I'm going to show you the UI and show you the stuff you can do. Give you a bit more information about this sim. I don't know whether I'm doing this right for landing. I suspect not. Let's pull the brake in. Okay. As we pass over the threshold here. Right, full brake. Whoa, flare, flare, flare. I couldn't figure out how to tow this off the ground, which was a disappointment. Oh, look at that! Ka-thunk. I can go to an external view. Look at that. Absolutely astounding. Really good looking sim. Anyway, let me get out and show you all these menus and stuff, and you'll see what I mean about it feeling like an iPad app. If you click on this back button, it's an iPad app. Big buttons you can hit with your fingers. It's very strange. In fact, if I go into the aircraft here, to navigate, I was clicking these buttons. That really just changes the livery of the aircraft. To navigate, you drag like you would with your finger. It's pretty insane, but you can see tons of aircraft in here. Different gliders, multi-engine C90 there, the Sol with Camel, 747 from KLM. Any other useful things? British Airways, there is BA 747. Cessna 172, Corsair, one of my all-time favorite aircraft, Learjet. I want to fly the Corsair. So I'm going to choose by double-clicking Corsair. Now, what you do, you choose your location. So we're currently at Gassner Field. I can click on that, I can choose to start on approach, I can start on the runway, I can do all sorts of lovely stuff. I'm going to start on the runway, and I can set the conditions. So the time, now this is a little bit odd, 20 hours, 08, so California is 8 hours off, so 20 minus 8 is obviously 12, so if I wanted this to be late afternoon, I would move this all the way up, let's say 5 in the afternoon, 5 plus 8 is 13, so it's going to be 1 AM, about there-ish, we'll do that. And we'll set the, well, wind and clouds, no themes on this. Put a little bit of wind in there, not a great lot. Put a bit of turbulence in there. No thermals and clouds. Visibility is very high. Yeah, that's good. Let's put some density of the clouds up. So it's pretty slick, pretty simplified user interface in keeping with the simulator light feel of Aerofly FS2. Now I've done everything I want to do, so I'm going to click on Start. And if we're lucky, it's going to put me on the runway, and then F4U. Whoa, that's pretty cool looking. Can I change the view here? Can I? No. I want to. That's nice. Alright, props full. My flaps, though. I don't know if you can interact with the cockpit. No, you can't. Oh, now I screwed my view up. And I noticed if you do that, if you click and drag, you need to reset your view. Otherwise, if you're using Track IR, as I am, it supports Track IR, then you have issues. So I think we're good. My flaps, look at that. Flaps are reversed, which is kind of awkward. Okay, on the brake. Sound is... Whoa! That's not cool. Hang about. Hang on. Never had a lesson. Oh my god. Okay, it's going to be a grass-filled takeoff today in RF4U Corsair. That was stressful. Alright, let's bit of backstep. Please take off. It's working. We're up. Alright, gear up. Now, I would expect it to hear some sound there, that the gear... Hello? Landing gears. G. There we go. I did map that to a button. It obviously didn't work. And bring those flaps up. Let's take a look outside again. Why are my gear not coming up? Gears. Oh, they were coming up, but it was very, very slow. Okay. Awkward. Great. We're flying in a Corsair. Let's get some altitude. This is great. I'm actually really enjoying this. Trim works. I've already set up my trim. I know there's a mouse cursor on the screen right now, which is not ideal for a lot of you. Let me see if I can get rid of that. What else do we have? The other controls like prop, mixture, not working in this. Okay. But again, focus here is on the sensation of flight. I personally hope, now they're moving this over to PC, that they start supporting Oculus Rift. I do have the consumer version of the Oculus Rift. It is amazing. And this would be outstanding, especially in the gliders in the Rift. Let's see if we can get a nice little turn over to the left here. Now, I have read reviews. People are complaining that even though it's a simulation of flight, the flight model is pretty awful. I think if you fly it within expected parameters, it's not bad, as I am right now. But, yeah, there are some quirks. Where's the speed here? Okay, let me show you some of the quirks that I've read about. Now, I've not tried this before, so hopefully I'm about to be proved wrong. And if I am proved wrong, we will die a horrible death and crash into the ground, which is correct. But even so. Roll it. And an outside loop. Yeah, that's not quite right, is it? Alright, so they have a way to go. But again, it's not designed to be a sim focused on in-depth. Everything is supposed to be focused on flight. And it is also, by the way, early access. I should have pointed that out. It's not finished yet. So... those people who are flying it and buying it, do provide your feedback to the developers and let them know what's right and what's wrong. Like, that's completely wrong. I shouldn't have been able to invert a Corsair and then try to do an outside loop. That shouldn't have worked at all. I should have read it out. And presumably the engine should have cut out as well. I think the fuel pump in a Corsair is gravity driven, so if you invert the aircraft, you get no fuel to the engine. Let's see if we can do a little Cuban. Looking up. Looking up. Over we go. Oh, a little bit of right rudder there. See, if you fly it within parameters, it performs exactly as it should. Yeah, going over the top of the loop there. Felt the nose yaw to the left, which is correct. We'll just fly down the runway here, and then do the other half of the Cuban. And then probably drop out and try one of the other planes and put it on an approach or something. Full power now. Sensation of speed is pretty damn good. And over we go. But you know, I gotta say, I guess the sticking point for a great many people, me included, they sent this to me, which was very, very kind of them. I think, though, at $50, I possibly would not have bought it. But it is certainly good fun. Having a lot of fun. Just as a jump in, fly around, kind of mess about sim, it's not too bad. Should I try and land this? Do we hold out much hope of my ability to land in this? Yeah, why not? Alright, let's get some altitude. Those handy boxes there showing that to approach this runway you need to fly through the hill. Not ideal. Lots of left rudder here as we come on out at the top here. Bringing the nose around. Alright, let's start feeding in some flaps. And presumably the gear's dropping down now. Speed feels pretty damn high. Oh! Yeah, I don't think the landing is going to go too well. Because I don't have any gear out. What the heck? No gears. Okay, let's not try and land it. Let's bring the flaps all the way up. And crash. There we go, we landed. That's technically a landing. And it resets. Alright, let's jump out. So I'm going to choose a different aircraft and we're going to put it on approach and we'll do things properly. So what shall I fly? What shall I fly? Let us take a handy, that looks fun, a Baron, a B-58 Baron. And we will start at Gaston Field again, 25, approaching from the right hand side, and we'll do a full approach and hopefully landing. See how we get along here, see what the Baron's like as well. So far I'm pretty impressed with the detail. Why am I in the right seat? There we go. Of the cockpits in particular. I don't know if my gear's out. Yeah, it is. Flaps are all down. We're actually configured to land. That's actually pretty cool. Look at that. Wow. Built-in wing views. I know some of you are going to love that. Speed is good. And it actually feels pretty good. Barons at low speed, I find in sims at least, I've never flown a real one, do feel a little bit like they're balancing on a needle, and this one really, really does. Now my flaps, I don't have a flap indicator here. Yeah, let's put full flaps. Keep the speed down. We are getting blown a little bit off to the side here. But the one thing that did keep me coming back to Aerofly 1 was the gliders. I thoroughly enjoyed their simulation of soaring. So hopefully as they build this out and get feedback from early access and tweak some things and fix some things, Aerofly 2 is going to be my go-to sim for just relaxing, just hanging out, soaring, catching some thermals, and just generally having a lot of fun doing that. Low, no pappy lights or bassy lights on this runway, so it is kind of handy we have these floating yellow boxes in the sky to follow our way in. Good rate of descent. Trim doesn't seem to be working in this aircraft, maybe it's just very slow. I'm having to hold constant back pressure. What I'm going to do after this, by the way, is show you some of those menus, because one thing I really do like, even though it's a iPhone-like, mobile device-like interface, I do like what they've done with the control setup. So we're going to take a look at that, and then I think after that maybe try one of the lessons, because they did release this into early access the week before Dovetail's flight school launched with a full set of flight lessons. Take that, Dovetail! So we'll take a look and see how it competes, if indeed it does compete. I am very, very low. It's all good. Oh god. It's no Papua New Guinea, but it is a challenge. Come on. Oh, that felt pretty cool. I don't know if there's a replay in this. Let's pause and see what happens if we pause. What is this? That looks to me like a replay. Okay. Perfect. So let's pop on outside to one of the exterior views. There's one, there's one, there's one. Oh, that's a good one. I like that. And play. See how we do. I can zoom in with the mouse. That's cool. It looks very fluid, doesn't it? Kind of fluid flight dynamics I would actually expect to see in X-Plane. It looks like it's really having a hard time staying up right now. Is the replay broken? You going to put me on the ground? No. Yeah, it's actually good. I'm in the right place. I was a little too low, a little too slow. There's my attempt at flaring. The joink. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Alright, let me show you these, this interface for setting up controls. So if we go into settings and go into controls, look, it shows you all the control devices that you've detected down the bottom here, and then binding your controls is actually very, very easy. I've already bound my throttle, obviously, but let's click in here and it says move the axis plus. So you move the axis plus, and it just automatically picks up which device did that and assigns it. I like that. I like that. Typically with a flight sim, you have a lot of controls to bind, and anything you can do to make that whole process painless and easy is a good thing. So I'm very happy with that. Okay, let's try these flight lessons and see what they're all about. So flight school. Okay, so just like in Dovetail's sim, you need to proceed through the lessons in order to open up the next ones. But this one, rather than putting you on the ground and saying, let's take off and learn how that works, the first lesson here is roll. Learn how the aileron controls flight attitude. It makes the aircraft roll, resulting in a bank. Your task, steer the Cessna to different given bank angles using the aileron. Bank left first, then right, finally roll back. And we can click on demonstration. Let's see what this does. Oh.
The first of the three basic controls is called aileron. It is used to control the aircraft bank angle. The attitude indicator or artificial horizon is now visible at the top of the screen.
It is.
The yellow marker refers to your aircraft. The green marker is the flight director and will guide you. Bank left. Try to match the green marker with the yellow one. Great. Keep on.
That's pretty cool.
Now bank right. Try to match the markers again.
That's also
Great.
pretty cool.
Keep on.
I want to try this.
Finally, roll back to level flight.
This, I like so far. I gotta say, that's a bit of a slap in the face.
The first of the three
to
basic
Dovetail
controls is called
to
aileron.
come out with this.
It is used to control
Week
the
of flight
aircraft
school.
bank angle.
Oops.
The attitude indicator or
right.
artificial horizon is now visible at the top of the screen.
Yes, it is.
The yellow marker refers
Look
to
at
your
these
aircraft.
graphics, though.
The green marker is the flight director and will guide you. You
Okay.
have roll control now.
Thank you. What do you want me to do?
Bank left. Try to match the green marker with the yellow one. Great. Keep on.
I am keeping on. This is actually pretty challenging.
Now bank right. Try to match the markers again.
And very satisfying.
Great. Keep on.
All right.
Finally, roll back to level flight.
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
Whoa.
Keep on.
I don't know what I did there. Sorry about that.
Okay, I will take control now.
Thank you.
You passed it, but you can do better.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Look at that. And then it's grading you, and you can try again and try to improve your score. I like that. Let's select. So the next one, pitch control. So on and on it goes. There you go. Anyway, this is it. This is my first impressions of Aerofly FS2. It's a reduced complexity sim. It's a light sim, the focus being on flight, and it is early access. They have some way to go even in simulating flight, in particular how certain aircraft respond to certain things in flight. For example, that outside inverted roll in a Corsair should not have been possible, and the Corsair felt a little bit odd as well, trying to slow down and all that good stuff. But even so, it is a beautiful sim. It is a really attractive sim, and when things are working the way they should, particularly in the gliders, it feels like flying. It feels very, very convincing. $50 right now, early access. You might want to hold off. You might want to wait until they improve it a little bit. I have spoken to one of the developers. They are very receptive to feedback. They are listening to the community, and they are aware that most people in the community want to see more systems complexity. They want to see something that competes with FSX and Prepared. They're aware of that. They're looking at that. No idea or guarantees or confirmation that they're going to do that, but they are aware and they are paying attention. I think there was some good feedback from the community. This could be pretty cool. Now, the big question with Dovetail's flight school releasing this week, Aerofly FS2 releasing pretty much around the same time, which one's better? I gotta say, if you're new to flying, if you've never flown before, if you've never done simulation before, I gotta say, so far, I'm actually digging Aerofly FS 2 more than Dovetail's Flight School. I certainly think that lesson experience right there was more fun. But it's up to you, double the price. So over to you. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think as entry-level sims and the light sims go. The big fight right now is between, obviously, Aerofly and Dovetail's Flight School. Which one do you think is better? As always, my name is Frugal. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I shall see you all very soon.